this is a brand new emergency question. If you had a time machine, where/when wouldn't you travel to?
17th century England.
Right, why 17th century?
Last year I read this very good book by, I think, Diane Purkis, I'm going to say, about the English Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. What an absolute bunch of knobheads were running around. Like, just miserable. Like, the weather was terrible. It was one of those things where the geologists say, there was a mini ice age, and so the weather was terrible. There was no food. Everyone lives until they're about sort of 50. And everyone's just yelling at each other about altar rails the whole time. And like, just like murdering each other about, sort of like subordinate clauses in the prayer book. And then the war itself was like really crap. You think, a war, battles and campaigns and stuff. Instead, most of it was just people kind of wandering around in groups of 6 to 10, just sort of like stealing other people's bags of grain and then dying of plague on the road to Berkhamsted. And just the whole thing just dragged on and on and on. No one knows where anyone was all the time. So it was always like chasing each other into sort of obscure bits of Cornwall and then burning a town because of, they were apparently the Pope had been there 100 years before. And the whole thing just seems so miserable and hateful and mean and horrid. Yeah. And I just drab, the adjectives don't sort of come. And I enjoyed the book. It's a very well written book. But usually history has a bit of like a whiff of excitement. Like on my holidays a few weeks ago, I was reading Hornblower. And I'd love to have a week as a late 18th century naval officer. I think that'd be a real treat. Yeah. But good God, the English Civil War, or the War of the Three Kingdoms, as we must call it up here, just utterly dire.